Irish philosopher George Berkeley said, "Others may indeed talk and write and fight about liberty and make an outward pretense to it, but the freethinker alone is truly free." Meaning, liberty actually has never been easy for anyone in the world to attain or to develop, both internally and externally, because liberty has always had its own difficulties, conflicts, and chaos that often remains or that often goes unnoticed and unrecognized, obviously because of our fantastical belief that we already have it and that we're constantly applying our liberty and individual rights to our actions as well as to our thinking, perception, jobs, decisions, choices, etc. Or if we just don't have it, then we're going to be given liberty by the external sources and authoritarian organizations and other arbitrary sources of power in the modern society, such as the governments as well as the politicians that we choose and that we vote into power because of our own decision, will, liking, etc. But the thing is, liberty has always been difficult and complicated by itself because it requires the person to face, first of all, his own insecurities and sources of weaknesses, shortcomings, etc., that sometimes manifest in his behavior in the form of ignorance, arrogance, pride, vanity, and that also causes him to become frustrated, desperate, and envious of the others' success, prosperity, growth, etc. And that means there needs to be an internal awakening, an internalization of one's own insecurities, weaknesses, traumas, as well as one's strengths, powers, abilities, etc. So when we finally come to terms and arrive at the bitter realization of all our limitations and strengths at the same time, and draw the conclusion that we are capable of both strength and weakness at the same time, then we may be able to liberate ourselves from our own internal imprisonment and experience a bit of internal and self-liberty. And obviously, attaining liberty requires the person to be in possession of or to develop absolute integrity, morality, character, alongside resilience, sovereignty, persistence, and individuality that defines his character, mentality, and actions, and that always provides him with distinction when it comes to his thinking, saying, and doing, and that may lead to the achievement of his external liberty also from the arbitrary and authoritative powers, organizations, governments, etc. So we have to become free, first of all, from the inside, and that